Bosses are currently 100% within Escape from Tarkov, but if they aren't when you're playing and watching this video is still going to give you a great guide as to how to take out Rashala, except you may not find some of the other bosses on the map at the exact same time. But with that being said, if you enjoy videos like this, I'm going to try and condense it all down into one to make it as easy and concise for you guys. Then make sure to hit the like button. It's the best thing that you can do to help me out, and of course I'll try my best to help you guys out. Now there are 3 places at which Rashala can spawn on the map. Now the first one is the dorms location, which is going to be the primary focus of where we want to capture Rashala within the raids on Tarkov's PVE mode. Now he does also spawn at the new gas station, which is the second best option to take out Rashala, and then kind of the third best is Stronghold, and that is down to the fact that you'll also encounter the goons, and especially with the 100% spawn rate of all bosses, that includes the goons, which means that if you do go to Stronghold, almost certainly you're going to have to deal with the goons immediately after, as they will spawn very close to Stronghold. And in fact, the problem with pushing Stronghold with the 100% boss spawn rate is that if Rashala's there and the goons are also there, you can definitely get into some awkward gunfights, which makes for good content, but at the same time, if you're trying to effectively take out Rashala and just farm the boss as much as possible, it doesn't work out all too well. Now, one thing, if you note that Rashala is actually at the Stronghold, you can just Alt F4 straight out of your raid, go back into the next one with all of your gear if you're playing on solo PvE raids. If you're playing in a group, then that's fine. It shouldn't be too bad, provided that the goons and Rashala don't push you at the exact same time with his guards. But for the majority of players, the key to actually taking out Rashala is being able to essentially catch him on his own. Now, the problem with Rashala is that he does have guards, and the guards can be a bit of a problem. But most of the time, if you're going to the dorms location, you'll find that Rashala and his guards get separated very easily using one specific tactic, and that is grenades. Grenades are one of the best ways to remove Rashala from the game, not simply by taking him out with a grenade, which does happen occasionally on dorms, but actually more so the fact that it will also spread out his guards and him into the different rooms in the dorms. This makes it very easy to clear each individual room, and they won't be kind of lurking around in the center of the corridor as much. And that makes it very easy to locate him on his own or with a guard in particular, and then the other guards will then push you after you've taken out Rashala. Now, the great thing about Rashala is that he doesn't have any body armor, so pretty much as soon as you start pumping into him, he is going to be hitting the deck very, very quickly. You just have to do it quite quickly yourself. So knowing where he is using the grenades for voice lines is a great way to do that. And you want to be keeping an ear out as to where Rashala spawns in your raid at the very beginning. You'll hear the kind of iconic shots coming from the dorms, and this is typically an engagement between PMCs and Rashala, or just simply Rashala and his guards taking out some additional mobs that might be in the raid. You can also, the great thing about dorms is find Partisan typically lurks outside of the dorms in the wood area, kind of just to the side of where the dorms actually are. And the amount of times that I've actually caught him trying to go up into the dorms and kind of just being weird on the staircase, not really knowing exactly what he's doing, to be quite honest with you, but obviously bugging out in some degree. And that allows you to take him out very easily and also get some extra XP, as when you take out both Partisan and Rashala in the same raid, you're going to get very, very good XP, which is obviously what you're wanting if you're trying to progress your character on PvE. So very, very good in that department. Now, in terms of actual weaponry in order to take him out, if you are heading into dorms or simply going to new gas as well, new gas is basically the same sort of strategy, but what you're going to be wanting is using something with a high fire rate that also has decent mags. Now, in the clips that you're seeing here, we had the spear, not the best weapon for going into dorms, just simply because you don't have the largest round mags, and the round mags for the spear are like 400k at the minute because no one can complete the Lightkeeper task. Thank you, BSG, for getting acquainted. And so with that not being fixed properly yet, It does mean that most people aren't able to progress Lightkeeper questline and therefore aren't able to unlock the mags, the L7AWM, if I'm right in thinking 25 round mag rather than the 20 round mag. So yeah, even with that, it's not the most amount of rounds. So if you can get yourself a high fire rate, something like an Uzi works really well to clear out the dorms, and is probably going to be a very, very effective way of removing Rashala, because the more bullets that you have down the range, you don't have to worry so much about penetration, but more so the damage that each of those rounds is doing. And if you've got a high fire rate with decent damage and, you know, level 3, level 4 penetration, you'll be absolutely fine. You don't need super high penetration rounds, and so the Uzi is just a really good option in you like taking him out quite effectively. In terms of how Rashala actually works, pretty much he sprints around. So when he engages you, he'll often sprint between different rooms in the dorms. Now to counter this, what you can do is you can lob a nade. He'll start running away because it's counted as you engaging him, and then as he's running between the doors, you can pre-aim after you've lobbed the nade. You'll often hear him voice line, and then he'll make a run, and you can take him out in that way. It's also a very good way to know where the guards are, as well as they'll also voice line to the grenade call. So really good way of taking him out. Now, in terms of nuance for the new gas station, pretty much what you want to do is essentially come in from the back entrance through the battered down fence, and then you can make your way around the back of new gas. And from there, what you'll typically find is that either Rashala will be on the far side of the dorms by the tankers that are on the opposite side in the school bus or just general bus, and also he can be inside of the new gas station. Sometimes he can have rotated out of the actual new gas station in front, in where the petrol filling station, I guess, is. But most of the time he's going to be around the back, and if he's inside, it is very easy to take him out because you can lob a nade, and pretty much a nade is going to be very easy to do. He'll either run into kind of the cabinet area, or he'll run into the little mini room of the actual new gas station itself, and that way you can basically just quick peek round a corner and, you know, very easily remove him. Remember, no armor, very easy to take out. Head taps, that's what you're wanting against Rashala. And the boss itself is actually probably one of the easiest bosses in my opinion, since he doesn't have any armor and is pretty much like Sturman in terms of like armor wise. So as long as you take him out pretty quickly with a high burst rate gun, then you'll be absolutely fine with Rashala. And in terms of why you might want to farm Rashala, it's all down to the fact that he has a good chance at giving you some pretty good keys. That includes, you know, the Rusted Bloody key. You can get yourself all of the Marked Room keys. You can get the Check 15 key. You can get all of the Colored Labs key cards, as well as Bitcoins and the Kibber Outer Door key, and some of the Shoreline keys as well. So just picking up some of the keys from him is just really, really useful. And sometimes it will even drop the 314 Dorms Marked Room key, which is amazing because any of these Marked Room keys are like 30 mil, maybe even more, maybe slightly less at like 20 mil, depends which key you get. But if he does drop one of those, it can significantly increase the price at which you're making money on the game if you're after that, or just simply farming up keys to use on the game, which is fantastic. And when you don't want to pay 35 million for a key that will definitely not make you your money back if you're actually opening the doors and not using the Alt F4 bug to reset your raids, it's yeah, a really good way of kind of getting your keys for free, especially with the 100% boss spawn rate that is actually in the game right now. And you get kind of a double chance with Partisan if he is actually at the dorms as well. So like a really, really nice combo to actually run, and why I really enjoy running customs in general. I'll also then open up the Dorm 314 Marked Room key if he is in dorms. Otherwise, I will check the new gas station, and if he's not in either of those, I'll pretty much just kind of leave the raid instantly and get back into the next one. It's really not too difficult in terms of the speed at which you can do it, and hopefully that's kind of giving you some indication as to how to take out Rashala. Just nades are your biggest friend when taking out this boss. And yeah, if you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comment section down below. And of course, if you've got any further details on Rashala and some of his guards, make sure to leave those in the comment section as well. And I will see you in the next video. Be sure to subscribe for more, and I'll see you there. Goodbye.